All right, let's see what these guys go for. They're actually taking a little bit more time in the picks and bans. Elise still dropped away from Kiwi Kid. Renekton banned away as well. So certainly these guys, you know, they've been doing their research and they've been, you know, banning out the champions you expect to see banned, of course, for these teams.
Yeah, so pretty much. We do have Gambit Gaming taking a little bit of extra time, though. We're going to try to see here, do they maybe take away Xin Zhao? They are going to wind up stealing Singed away, banning that one out from Kiwi Kid. And immediately the same bans as game number 1, going back and forth.
Well, it makes a whole lot of sense, really. You look at Gambit Gaming, and they said, what we just did worked. Dignitas, respecting the Thresh, saying, yep, they're not going to first pick that one. And, you know, doesn't really change a heck of a lot. Gambit's going to just go back and first pick Kayle again. Well,
that's very interesting with Kha'Zix and Zed still on the table. They do wind up picking that Kayle. Now, as we mentioned before, we could maybe see Darian taking that into the top lane, although we did have Alex each picking that one up and sending it to the mid lane. So we'll have to see where that one's going to fall. We also kind of want to see here what Dignitas' reaction is going to be. Why don't we go for a Turtle Beach listen in with Team Dignitas and see what's really going through their minds?
You can take the AD carry as well, which would be Ezreal, yeah.
We want Ezreal?
You can also pick the support.
You want a Zyra here or what?
I have nothing to go on.
I'd rather not show.
Yeah, I don't want to show Zyra.
Alright, you want to pick the AD? I'm fine with picking Ezreal.
Yeah.
Or you can pick me Captain Teemo. Can you blind Kayle's E?
What?
Can you blind Kayle's E?
Yeah.
I think so.
It works.
Yeah, you can.
Why aren't we picking
Volibear and Meph here? Oh, Volibear Lulu.
It's gonna be Volibear Lulu. I'm 100% that's the combo they use. But who would have thought? It's like Volibear gets like 5,000 move speed.
I actually want to play Gragas.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, we got a little bit of insight into their heads there. They are going to want to take in the AD carry Ezreal, and once again picking up Xin Zhao, so nothing all too different coming up from their first couple of picks, and nothing all too different coming up from the side of Gambit Gaming either. It looks like Lulu being locked in, so they're going to want to picking that one up again. And Diamond Prox once again going to Volibear. I don't necessarily know if we're going to see a mirror match.
Rumble and Diana. Let's do it.
They
can't have Thresh, so we'll have one new pick.
Okay, so that could be just a little bit of mind being blown there, but we'll have to see. I mean, Dignitas, we got on their minds for just a little bit, but well, we'll have to see what they do here. They do have the double pick up here, and they have a lot of options available to them. Do they wind up picking up the support here? Are they going to maybe see Scar going back to Gragas, actually?
Ooh. So already a bit of a different lineup here. It is going to be support Zyra. Mid Gragas is good. And, you know, they've still got their top lane to pick. So this time it's actually Dignitas' turn to get a counter pick for the top lane. We'll see what that ends up being. Right now, Gambit Gaming looking at a very similar lineup to before. They've got Misfortune hovered over for AD carry. I do not expect that to actually change. But, oh, they do have the Kha'Zix here. We'll see where that ends up going.
Well, Kha'Zix and Kayle on the same team, that's a deadly combination there.
Yeah.
Of course, we all know Kha'Zix's power is in the resets and the massive amounts of damage they could just jump in and deal in a team fight. Popping in an intervention down on top of him is going to be a big, big help as well. Once he doesn't die, he's going to be able to leap free at will. But on the side of Dignitas, Patoy is actually one of the few supports in the North American scene that still really likes that support Zyra. They have a lot of potential to be aggressive in that lane matchup. Ezreal and Zyra, there's so much poke, and if you catch someone out of place with that root, they could be done for.
Well, we'll see what ends up happening there, of course. It's going to be really all up to the Kayle player on Gambit Gaming to keep whoever gets caught alive. But another area of effect focused team here from Dignitas, and once again they've grabbed up Rumble. Well,
we've seen a lot of similar champions coming out from both sides. Are they actually going to be taking this one for game number 3 from the side of Team Dignitas, or is it going to be Gambit Gaming really sealing the deal here in the international exhibition matches? This is still the first best of 3 with 3 more potential ones coming up from the tournament, guys. Don't go anywhere, because after a quick commercial break, we'll be right into game number 2 between Team Welcome back, everybody watching at home, as well as everybody live here in Dallas. This is the Major League Gaming Winter Championships, the international exhibition matches. Gambit Gaming on your blue side, Team Dignitas on the red side. Gambit already ahead 1-0 just to catch everybody up to speed with this one. And Freak, we didn't really get a chance to do this, but for everybody out there in the crowd, if you want to see Gambit Gaming take this game number 2 and seal the deal with a 2-0 victory, let me hear you guys. From Russia, with love.
With love indeed. And of course, if you want to If you want to see Dignitas, I mean, here maybe we talk about it, but if you want to see Dignitas win Game 2 and bring it back, let me hear you for Team Dignitas. from America with love.
Indeed, with love, Freak. But we do see Gambit Gaming once again posturing for this potentially aggressive level 1 invade. There's a ward down in the brush from the side of Team Dignitas, kind of mirroring the start to game number 1. Dignitas lining up at that line of scrimmage cross river. A pink ward goes down early on from the side of Gambit Gaming, though, as they snatch that one out. Dignitas tried to react a little bit, but not really going for a level 1 engagement at all. They want to keep things a little bit safer as they just let Gambit Gaming get away.
Meanwhile, let's see what they look for here. Certainly Gambit, they were grouped up. Darian's going to recall back, so that's going to be top laner Kha'Zix here. They have set Alex Ish back onto Kale. Looking for an invade. Diamond gets spotted, though. Nice Q by I'm a Cutie Pie. Certainly landing Q so far, and they're going to stop that invade despite the pink ward coming out from Gambit Gaming.
Gambit does wind up putting a ward down, not as far as they may have wanted to in the jungle of Team Dignitas, but they are going to see if there's any sort of shenanigans going down if they go towards the river area to try to potentially get ganks down early or just try to cross unseen somewhere on the map. But we do have Dignitas starting off on the red side of things, so it seems Crumbs is going to wind up taking his raids. That, of course, frees up the Wolf Camp for the AD carry and support of Batoy and Cutie Pie, mirroring the effect a little bit of those double golems being taken by Gambit in the bottom lane.
All right, and that's going to be a really interesting early game setup here for Dignitas because they are duo laning the mid lane. Golem buff going to Gragas. Just a heads up top laner. We actually saw that basically identically here from Dignitas versus Complexity. We'll see if that ends up panning out.
Trying to steal away. He does wind up sniping the blue buff away from Dignitas. That's going to be huge because Scar in this bottom lane matchup has no HP, has no blue buff. That's a sad Scar.
That is a very sad Scar. And Edward with an amazing play right there. Read that one very nicely. That is just great. Like, that was an amazing play right there. So suddenly 2 buffs going to them. Crumbs looking for a very fast top lane dive. Darian has already burned lead. This is going to be really bad for him. He's trying to put damage into Kiwi Kid. Kiwi Kid's really getting hurt here, but here comes Crumbs. And Darian does not have much that he can do. He goes for the flash. Oh yeah, he's been knocked into the air. This is totally a dead bug. But here comes Diamond. Will he find something for himself? Kiwi Kid taking a lot of punishment. He's going to go for the bite. Doesn't even need it. Swipes him in the back, and actually Crumbs has to run away from a very angry bear.
Well, Diamond Prox is level 3, tries to get the slowdown onto Crumbs. Red buff has been applied to flip backwards. Is he going to go 2 for 1 in this one? Doesn't look like he's going to want to chase. Frenzy Bite does go off, but Crumbs is going to stay alive. Good turnaround there from Gambit.
That is an absolutely great opening right there. So, 1-to-1 buffs on the junglers right now, and they're just heads up in the top lane.
Well, I mean, both of them going up there trying to facilitate that top lane matchup. We talked about earlier, Kiwi Kid is the one on the side of Team Dignitas that Gambit was pretty much abusing last game. We see them trying to do the same exact thing in game number 2 here, but Crumbs identified that. Even they got the solo lane that they want. They have that 1v1 pretty much in top lane. There was no lane swap going down from the side of Gambit Gaming, so he tries to get Kiwi Kid in an advantageous spot. Diamond Prox comes up though, so even though he's gone pretty much even in that one, there's no clear advantage for Kiwi Kid.
No, certainly not at all, but you're seeing sort of... Well, the interesting thing is that, you know, Kiwi Kid did get the kill credit, so he should be at least up a little bit in gold. He is actually a fair amount, so we'll see if that ends up panning out too much, but certainly with Kha'Zix going to take some of that top farm, pushing the wave out. You know, it's still pretty close. You're right.
And this is pretty interesting. The bottom lane matchup, I don't know if this is necessarily because Scar got denied that blue buff or if they anticipated this one. He's duo laning bot with Batoy here. This is a Gragas Zyra lane going up against a Misfortune and a Lulu.
I think he really just needs the help. They expected the blue buff to go to him so he could farm pretty well under the turret. Gragas is a champion who needs farm to excel in this game. Good damage onto Edward, but I think it's more Batoy really supporting his teammate who needs the help than an intended lane swap.
Well, Cutie Pie is not doing a terrible job against Kale in the mid lane matchup. He does have 32 CS compared to Alex Ich's 21. He's made him chug through 3 of his 4 starting health tokens as well with that Elixir of Fortitude in the mid lane. And Cutie Pie, he's only had to burn 1 of his own as he has his own Elixir of Fortitude, so he might be set here. See him trading some damage, does have to Arcane Shift away as you got to be careful of Kale, respect the Reckoning, and respect that damage that she can put out with her E.
Yeah, she's a very scary champion to lane up against, of course, especially as she gains levels. That burst just goes up and up and up. Genshin just happily face-taking and killing a plant right there put out by Zyra.
Lane, though, looks like Diamond Prox is going to run in, flips Kiwi Kid over his shoulder in shades of game 1 here as Kiwi Kid looks to be going down, but Crumbs coming in. There's the Audacious Charge. The slow Darian gets knocked up, but it's outside of tower range. Are they going to continue to chase down? Diamond Prox is leading the retreat there. Darian, though, is he going to want to get a charge down on Crumbs? Audacious Charge goes off again. 1, 2. Can he get the third talent strike? Will not. A quick flip over the shoulder from Diamond Prox on Kiwi Kid. Now it looks like Gambit Gaming might turn this one around. Elixir of Fortitude on Kazi gets the leap, misses the Void Spike, so the auto attack's going to seal the deal there. And now Crumbs looks to be in a bad spot. Can he pick up a kill on Darien? No, he can't. Gambit Gaming with a 2 for none in top lane.
That was an amazing set of plays right there by those Gambit players. The counter gank just could not quite land. They tanked everything out just barely. Darien even stopped to Void Spike a minion to gain some health because he was running away. Just eked that one out. Amazing set of plays there by Gambit. Really, really well-deserved kills.
Well, we see Dignitas' strategy. They're trying to get Kiwi Kid into a spot where he can be comfortable. They're trying to do something to help him out. PewDiePie actually having to burn his flash over this mid lane wall as well. Nothing from Dignitas seems to be working, though, as Gambit Gaming always seems to be on the same page as them, there to turn something around.
Now, it's a really good escape, though, at least by PewDiePie, but you're seeing it very much like last game. Just really, really great gank pressure there coming out from Gambit. But the pusher onto Edward is so good. Look at that one. Picked up nicely by Scar. It's going to put him in a nice spot in gold. 3-2 in kills, still in Gambit's favor.
And I kind of like this bottom lane, the way it's panned out. Patoya is supporting Skara, and when you think about it, the AP carries role is he's a lot of mid-game burst damage, especially on someone like Gragas.
Yeah.
If you're going to help him get to that level 6 very safely, as well as potentially up into the level 11 range, that explosive cast is going to be dealing massive amounts of damage at the point in time that Gambit Gaming likes to start team fighting, somewhere around, you know, that mid-game dragon fight, the mid-game 20-minute or so team fight. Skara, if he's going to be able to sit down there and farm pretty safely, although he only has 18 CS, he's kind of been being poked out and harassed by that Lulu Misfortune lane, 62 to 18. If he can at least get the experience and hit that level 11 ultimate, that's going to be a decent amount of damage that Dignitas will need to combat Gambit.
Yeah, but the difficulty is you're really just seeing every lane, I mean every single lane win here for Gambit Gaming. You look at the top lane, 31 to 24. The normal mid laners, 47 to 19. The AD carries 72 to 51. And I mean, other than Crumbs having more minion farm than Diamond, and I mean the support definitely as well, you're seeing everybody have a heads-up advantage here, and that's a pretty brutal spot.
Speaking of Diamond in the mid lane, he's going to tower dive with an intervention from Kale. PewDiePie, you don't look long for this world. Diamond Frost going to very easily pick up a kill under tower on Ezreal.
That was a really, really nice dive, and you saw actually Alex use his ult early to block the damage early on in that fight. You could use it a second or two later, but still, you know, that's one of the cool things about the Kayle ultimate is you don't have to wait till they're at no health to pop that ulti. You can use it when they're still actually pretty high on health and just make sure they don't take any damage at all.
Well, we see a little standoff between the junglers. Alex, each of course balancing the odds a bit in favor of Gambit as that red buff is up. They know Crumbs wants to go for it. 2 supports coming around as well. So this is going to be a 4 for 2 as Darien comes down, as it doesn't look like Dignitas really wants a piece of this one. They're going to want to get letting that red buff go away. A plant from Zyra spotting it out just a second too late for an equalizer to try to snipe that one away. And Gambit Gaming, they're taking advantages on the map once again this game.
It was a really, really nice setup by them. Again, counter jungling is a team effort, and you saw that whole team was there ready for that one. Bitten away by the big angry bear, but still team effort. There we go. Again, the aggression just all around the map. The top lane equalizer going off, dropping his ultimate actually. Can they do enough? Oh, they're forcing the flash away from Darien as well. Good counter gank by Crumbs.
Well, both of them on that pop and that ultimate. Of course, Kaz is going to have a little, actually both the cooldowns relatively even at this point, but he hasn't gone back. Kiwi Kid's continuing to push this lane. You see Kha'Zix pop back up, but Crumbs not necessarily in the best position to push this one any further. So it does look like for the time being, Darien and Kiwi Kid just going to wind up farming up in this top lane.
And actually, Crumbs is still waiting in the wings. They're waiting for Kiwi Kid to push this wave down, and then Crumbs will look for a lower brush. He's playing the long con here, really, and saying, hey, when this wave pushes back out, I'm coming for you, Darien. See if that ends up working out. His ult is down, his flash is down. Leap is up, but it's short range. We'll see what ends up happening. Crumbs right now is recalling, but he doesn't need to. They could definitely set up this trap here on Darien, and here we go.
Well, Diamond Fox there as well. Crumbs charges in, hits level 6. As he charges in, there's the sweep coming out from him. Darien's going to wind up going down to Kiwi Kid. He's overheating, flashes away, but he is going to wind up being picked up there from Diamond Fox. Crumbs trying to fight through the heal from Diamond's Violet Bear. It's not going to be enough. Double kill acquired. Crumbs barely not taking him down in that one.
Wow, the Lizard buff just contributed so much damage there, and of course that Angry Bear passive refusing to go down. Only 70 health at the end of that one, and still managed to make it work. Nice job, Diamond.
Well, we said Crumbs waited for a long time in that rush. He had not been level 6. He just hit that in that engagement, so that was pretty epic timing on the side of Dignitas. But Volibear is there to turn things around. Had Crumbs actually waited a bit too long and not hit level 6 in that point, well, that would have been very, very bad things. But Dignitas, they do wind up going 2 for 1 once again, although at least it's not a 2 for none again.
Yeah, it's at least going slightly better for them, but of course you do want to see Dignitas turn this around. If you're looking for a Game 3, even if you're just a Dignitas fan, right now it's looking really good for Gambit. All the moves, a lot of them really made by Diamond himself, have been really, really on point. 5-0-1. He's had an amazing game so far on this Angry Volibear, and like we saw, Ladder Mortis from Complexity, when a tank gets all the early kills, he becomes very, very unkillable.
Yeah, kill multiple of these three, because it does look like now Gambit Gaming rotating around once again, putting pressure on the Dragons, trying to get the first one of the game for themselves. Crumbs and Star, though, they're waiting in the range. They want to potentially try to snipe this one away. Alex Each is going to go run perimeter defense, force them away from that. Gambit Gaming is going to secure themselves the first Dragon of this game.
That's a really good setup for them. I mean, it's interesting because that was so late of a Dragon kill, but it just seems like they didn't need it yet because they were finding advantages elsewhere. They were finding kills instead, and so, you know, we'll take Dragon when we don't have a champion to kill. And, you know, by biding their time, it got them a 6-3 kill lead, and of course, they're still certainly in a great place this game.
Well, the famous quote from Alex Each was, see champion, kill champion, but when you don't see a champion, I guess you kill Dragon.
Yeah.
So advantages for Gambit Gaming once again in this game. 6 kills to 3 now. No towers have gone down, which is a stark contrast to the previous matchup where there were a lot of towers going down.
Yeah, they've actually found Genja at the bottom lane. Crumbs being sheeped away, though. Little derpy Dragon run away from that one. He will survive, but they put a lot of pressure on Genja. Now at the top lane, actually, it's going to be a press onto Kiwi Kid. Puts his ult down, tries to run through to stay alive, but I don't think he can really run through this. And wow, Diamond just like sat there in the equalizer and said, yeah, so what? I'm a giant angry bear. I will take your ultimate and live.
Well, that's what happens when you, like you said, you let the tank get far ahead. Gambit Gaming is 7-3 in kills, and 6 of those right now are on Diamond procs. You said he's a very angry bear. He's also a very hungry bear at this point, getting the majority of those kills. Bertoy missing the root there on Edward in this bottom lane. Gonna put a little bit of poke and pressure there, but nothing too much coming of that one.
Yeah, silly bear. Kiwi Kid's not porridge. He's a Yordle.
Oh, well, I mean, you can make Yordle stew, I guess. Is that something? I'll have to ask
That's
Odd
just
about
mean.
that one.
But they're going to find Diamond again. Look at Crumbs looking for that gank right there. His passive is on. Do they have enough damage to kill through it? Right now they don't. He pops his Q. Look at him running away. Can Crumbs get the slow? He should be in range. Nope, he's not going to go for it. The cooldown just now coming back up and says, nope, not me.
That's a bit of a missed opportunity there from Dignitas. Had they been able to pick up that kill on Volibear, that would have been a shutdown 500 bonus kill spree, and if they give that to Cutie Pie, he's going to be the one that wants to really carry them through this game. He's also going for a Blade of the Rune King first yet again in this game as Ezreal. So that's, of course, going to be shredding through the percentage of HP. You have a big tanky Volibear. He's the big problem in the beginning stages. Yep. Well, he's going to take more damage from that Blade of the Rune King. So had that money been in the bank, or at least in the pocket of Cutie Pie, that would have been a good turnaround there from Dignitas. They do relieve a bit of pressure up there. Kiwi Kid's, of course, going to put some pressure himself in that top lane, but for the time being, Dignitas, they can't really make motion in this map. They can't make something happen to try to take the lead back from Gambit like they did in the previous match.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do to turn this one around for themselves, really, because you know, they have good champions for late game. They have good damage, but actually Cutie Pie getting not quite done by Alex Itch. He could have turned his ult for it, but he's going to flash into range. Wow, immediate flash from Cutie Pie. Will Alex Itch find this one? He's trying to run it into range, looking for it around the wall. Cutie Pie, nope, not going to go anywhere. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, we did see Alex Itch pick one up for himself.
Well, we had Genja popping that bullet time, winds up streaking across the bottom, and they do wind up sealing the deal there, as unfortunately Edward was actually the one who winds up going down, so Dignitas picked up a kill. They're going to go on to Scar, though. Diamond Prox facilitating that kill very nicely, giving it away to Genja, and that's going to be a 2-for-1 map wide in favor of Gambit.
And just over and over, you're just seeing the moves going in their favor. A great dive by Scar that got the first kill, but you saw it just get turned around. They are just omnipresent, the Gambit Gaming players. They are just, they're just finding them. They're finding these kills, they're turning everything around, and when they get into a close fight, they just always come out ahead, and the lead is just snowballing because of this.
Yeah, so we're going to have to see here as the mid tower does go down. It's the second tower of the game, second one in favor of Gambit Gaming. So all the advantages right now are in their court. What can Dignitas do to try to come back from this one? Once again on the map, ward coverage slim to none from the side of Team Dignitas. Ed Ward running Lulu again in this game. Hasn't quite got the Oracle's Elixir pop, but he has it in his inventory. So those positional advantages, those vision advantages for Gambit Gaming, once again, going to be a huge factor at keeping their lead.
Well, I mean, they're certainly doing a good job of it, right? They have kept the ward coverage, they have kept the pushes, they have kept the kills. Everything really is in Gambit's favor. If you want to learn how to play really, really good team play for League of Legends, look no further than Gambit Gaming right here, because all across the map, all the ganks. I mean, heck, if you're a jungler especially, dude, watch this game from Diamond, because he has been omnipresent. He's been a part of almost every single kill.
And he's
a big reason.
And we've talked about that, the team focus of Gambit Gaming in the team fights during that 20-minute phase where it's like the Gambit fight. They win it or lose it pretty much with that big fight, and they can swing things in their favor. We haven't really given them, like you said, as much credit for the way they've ganked lanes. We say that they like trying to make things happen, and if they don't, that's what they really fall back on. But when they do wind up happening, they don't stop happening for Gambit. That's why Diamondprox is one of the top junglers in the League of Legends scene right now. When he ganks a lane, it's not enough just to give a slight advantage to that ally. He wants to make sure that they absolutely crush that lane, and that's what we've seen Darian do to Kiwi Kid so far pretty much in both of these games.
Yeah, I mean, Kiwi Kid even got first blood because Darian actually went down first and Diamondprox had to counter gank that. And yet, he went from first blood to 2 and 4. But Alex Itch now in the middle lane, taking a whole bunch of punishment. Intervention is on, but that's not going to... Oh my gosh, they might keep him alive. Lulu with the save. There comes the equalizer. The shield is on. Crumb's going back in. What's he going to find right here? Alex still taking punishment. He does finally go down, but Toy picks that one up. But the counter gank is here. Nice pickup from Darian. He's going to keep moving on forward. It's going to be the leap forward. Who's going to take the damage next? They're trading back and forth. Darian goes down. Kiwi Kid now in the front lines. They've traded more kills. Has been a 2 for 2.
Yeah, and it does look like they're going to have to back away from this one. So Gambit, nice save there onto Alex Each. However, Dignitas, they cleaned that fight up. It's a 2 for 2, so even though they're slightly behind, it comes out a bit better. Kiwi Kid, though, looking dangerous. Scar's going to taking down Edward, though. Pots that explosive cast. Kiwi Kid, though, looking to be in a bit of trouble. Quick bite there from Diamondprox makes him go legendary on Volibear. He is 8-0-2 and looking super, super scary.
He is a very scary brown bear, and when you're arguably the best jungler in the world, Diamond from Gambit Gaming, that is a guy who is going to do a lot of good things with a lot of kills. So it's just going to be scary over and over. Patoy did take away that first kill in the fight, or I should say second, I believe, and very nearly saved Kiwi Kid. The grasping roots there from Zyra were so close to landing on the diamond and just barely missed and would have kept that Rumble alive.
Well, Gambit Gaming is going to take that dragon once again, so 2 dragons for them and none for Team Dignitas. And they actually had that explosive cast on Gragas that wound up dispositioning the side of Gambit Gaming. Diamondprox got the fling over his shoulder on Kiwi Kid, though, so that's what really kept that fight alive. Had Scar just gotten the explosive cast off, it would have been a disengage, but the quick flip from Diamond there really kept Kiwi Kid dead in that fight.
It was just absolutely amazing, great play. You've got a giant disruptive tank who is going to run at people, never fall down, have his way with everyone, and then just make things happen. It's a crowd control tank. It's Diamondprox on Volibear. He's going to flip you back, he's going to slow you down, he's going to just make your life horrible to be a part of. And he will continue to do that. He's got a runic bulwark finish now. He's moving towards, I'm going to guess, Spirit Visage up next. He is a menace who is not going to be easily killed.
Well, he's going to go right here onto Kiwi Kid, flips him over the shoulder, gets the slowdown, and the equalizer goes out once again from Kiwi Kid. Diamond just walking through it. Unfortunately, the slow is going to kind of stave him off from trying to kill Kiwi Kid there. Rumble's going to get away, but barely from that one. So surviving a close encounter there with a bear is Kiwi Kid, as now we see this bottom lane. Crumbs waiting very patiently once again in these brushes. He's going to try to make something happen with Skara, though. We'll have to see if something winds up going down there as we do pan back over to the mid lane. Actually, bottom lane once again. Genja's going to wind up getting jumped on down there. Crumbs will wind up picking up a kill there, so they seal the deal on the AD carry from the side of Gambit, trying to make something happen, gaining a little bit of traction there for the side of Team Dignitas.
It was a nice gank. I mean, this is what Dignitas needs to do, is try to force these advantages. Now, they're going to lose Lizard buff for that themselves. Actually, they thought it might have been Baron Asher. You just saw I'm a Cutie Pie toss his gigantic Ezreal banana across that one to try to get the reveal. But no, it's actually the top lane. Now they're looking for the kill onto Kiwi Kid. He's not in a good place at all. Gambit Gaming takes that one pretty much for free, and they got 4 men onto this turret.
Well, they pick up a kill there on Kiwi Kid. They take his tower on the top lane, so getting more and more gold advantages across the map in favor of Gambit Gaming. It's about an 8,500 gold lead at this point. In Dignitas, they got 1 kill on the bottom lane. There was a fight where they went 2 for 3, technically, as Kiwi Kid did wind up falling in that engagement. So far, they haven't really been able to really put their feet on the ground in this matchup. Scar on Gragas, we thought that if he hit that level 11 mark around the 20-minute point, he was going to be able to make something happen. Well, guess what? but he hasn't hit that level 11 mark yet. He doesn't have that extra amount of damage on his explosive cast. Crumbs has been an extremely patient jungler trying to make something happen in the lanes, but he's falling behind in experience because of this one. He has caught up a little bit and is now level 10, but when you're facing down an opposing jungler who is 8 out of the 13 enemy kills, there's really no comparison between the two.
And Scar's in such a rough spot right now. I mean, you look at 65 to 185. He's at basically a third of the minion kills of Alex Ich. And a lot of that started from the blue buff steal. Certainly that was kind of a big point there. But kind of the entire game, he's had just a really rough time of this one. And he's just not caught up in farm. And that is a huge deficit to be a part of. Now, he's got a Morella Namicon, so he'll have the healing reduction there to place onto Diamond. That will help them get kills a little bit. But I mean, you expect Gragas to one-shot people, to put out incredible bursts and just kill faces. And yeah, he's 3-1-1, but watch the next team fight. And imagine if GG had just taken a couple hundred more damage at the very start.
Could have potentially been a fight that would have been going in their favor for Team Dignitas. But now Gambit Gaming, they've been checking this with the True Shot Barrage twice so far, and they are going to wind up going down onto Baron Nashor. Toy comes over in the Oracle's Elixir. Crumbs is also around the corner. Are they going to be able to do anything, though? Baron's already extremely low. Scar coming in here. Does he have the damage to steal away? Gambit's going to back off. Darian comes in the backside, though, actually. Trying to force away all Dignitas. The explosive cast goes down. Not going to steal Baron. That goes in favor of Gambit Gaming. Darian now getting the ultimate over the wall. Great bullet time over the wall coming in from the side of Gambit, and that's going to be 2 kills picked up from them. The Reckoning goes down on Crumbs. Root's not going to hit. Good knockback there with the Crescent Sweep. However, it looks like Gambit Gaming are going to try to force a little bit more of this one. Cutie Pie is going to pick up a tower in the bottom lane at the same time, but Gambit Gaming not giving up. Alex Ich wants blood on Crumbs, but he is going to barely back off after deciding taking too much damage from a tower is not worth it.
And absolutely a great fight there by Gambit Gaming once again. They sent Darian up to the top, above the wall for the sort of the fight duty. They had Alex Ich hug the wall to land an ultimate himself, and they all peeled off of Baron in time to wait for all of Gragas' abilities, and then went back on and take that one for free. The inhibitor now down. All of Dignitas now have revived, and that might just be what Gambit Gaming says, you know what, we'll retreat for now. Taking enough damage to die. Really, really good fight there by the Russians.
Yeah, we do have Gambit Gaming realizing they don't want to overextend their welcome here in Dignitas' base. They've been very humble and inviting thus far, giving them that inhibitor in the mid lane. However, they are going to back off for the time being. And now, Dignitas, what do? Well, they don't want to get caught here, as it looks like Gambit Gaming might be trying to sandwich them.
The thing is, they've only got 2 people here. The audacity of Diamond to be like, yo, dog, 2v5, let's go, flip someone. And, like, Dignitas is like, you're right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be in your territory, Bull Bear. We'll get out of your cave.
Well, unfortunately, right now, Gambit Gaming's territory is everywhere outside of Dignitas' base, and save for the fact that mid lane might be Gambit Gaming's territory as well, since they've taken down that inhibitor. Bottom lane, we did have Cutie Pie picking up a tower kill, but it wasn't really worth it in justification of losing an inhibitor mid lane. They lost out on the Baron as well. Right now, Gambit Gaming, they have a very, very large advantage, to say the least. 5 towers down compared to the 1 of Dignitas. It's 15 kills to 8, and the global gold, speaking leaps and bounds, about an 11,500 gold in the favor of the side of Gambit Gaming. Dignitas, they are hard-pressed to find something to do to come back into this game. Baron is down. The Dragons all in favor of the side of Gambit Gaming. They can't really push a lane out considering how far back on the map they are. Gambit could be anywhere, and that's the scary part, especially when the big thing lurking in the shadows is a bear or a Kha'Zix.
Yeah, exactly. You've got giant insectoids, you've got giant bears, you've even got angels from another planet. It's not a good lineup you really want to fight against. I mean, even Misfortune's having a great game. Double Bloodthirster into Last Whisper. We saw that last game. Still seems to be working quite well, of course. Turrets finally going down. That bottom lane, you can see that Dignitas are not even trying to defend them. They know outer turrets are nowhere near their own territory at this point. And Dignitas probably going to give this one up as well. Diamond happily face-tanking that one. Not a care in the world.
Now he's got a lock into the Iron Slayer, Runic Bulwark, and this is only 24 minutes in the game here. So Diamond Prox, happy very much so, to say the least, at 8-2-0-2 on his Volibear. So far, it hasn't been hunting season from the side of Dignitas. They just really can't take him down in any of these fights. And it looks like Darian actually jumping and gets the Void Spikes off. It looks like Cutie Pie wanted to try to make something happen there as he shifted and popped that blade with the Rune King. But there's really no response from Dignitas if Gambit Game is going to be grouping up.
No, they're just going to go right back through on this one. Red Elixir is there, and of course the Baron buff still as well. Crumb's going to go into the front. Pops open, doesn't have more than one person. He's going to get jumped on. Look at the damage on the him. They're going to keep pushing on forward. What's going to happen? It's going to be a bug coming into the front. There comes Kiwi Kid up alone. He's going to go down 2 more kills here for Diamond, 10-0-2. Tanks a turret, does not care. Runs for Cutie Pie, has to run from that one, pulls Skara back. A little bit of damage on that one. They're going to back off once again. Alex Ich forced to run away, and of course the inhibitor is pretty much theirs, but instead they go for the Nexus turret. It's going to be one turret going down. Number 2 going to be theirs as well, and Gambit Gaming looks to chew on this one and move into the finals of the international tournament here at MLG.
So it looks like, unfortunately, Dignitas, all they can do is sit in their base and sigh as the Nexus goes down. Like you said, Freak, we're going to have Gambit Gaming, the first team out of the international exhibition matches,